Hello everybody, Robert Goldberg here, First Amendment TV. We're here with Nick Purpura from Eagle on the Air. That's the name of your site.
That's correct.
And I did a filming with you a week or so ago.
Yeah, a couple of weeks
about
back.
the breaking news that was coming out. You had a show later on the air on that was going to be for cable TV.
Oh yeah, about Mr. Obama's executive order, Obamacare,
Right.
and what we're seeing now in Ferguson, or maybe with Ebola, on how these three things could bring upon martial law.
Okay.
Which it's still there, it's still alive, and we should. They wouldn't let me show the full show the next night for some reason. Our computer wasn't working.
Okay.
Even though we were allowed to take in every email, we couldn't put it out.
Now,
We were blocked.
in that video that we did, you were very angry,
Oh yeah,
pissed off,
extremely angry,
irate.
beyond
And-
where they should
and-
be.
Some people said it was a little too much, and that's what we do on First Amendment TV. We don't hide facts.
Well, what it was is one comment I appreciated mostly was when I did Thursday's night show on amnesty, was it was a righteous anger. That sounded very nice. It was, but it was an irate anger. Because this amnesty bill is so illegal and can be handled so simply. It's so simple. Irate, and I was irate because I brought out the solution to the amnesty issue prior to Mr. Obama. I'm repeating myself. Prior to Mr. Obama's announcement. Yeah, I find it strange that a man could say 20 times that I'm not an emperor. I can't do this. I can't do this on my own. He's
Right.
supposed to be a constitutionalist. If he was a constitutionalist, and he knew Article 1, Section 8, he had no authority to write law, and I gave the public three options. And each option furthers the Republican Party and their policies, and even Democrats. I'm not going into the Democrats, the bad guy. So let me go over them again. How's that?
Go ahead.
Okay, the first thing.
Well, before you go into that, because we're talking about his emergency broadcast that he did about amnesty. And after I had watched it, I said to myself, this is all lies. He said one thing and we know he's going to do totally the opposite.
Wait. In the last 6 years, how many truths can you tell me?
Right, because
there are no truths.
the
in
way
this
he
amendment.
described everything is, and the illegal community, mainly Hispanic, let's say, there are illegal Russians here, there are illegal Israelis here, there are illegal British people here, illegal Indians, every culture's here. There are illegal people here that came here on visas and never went back. And basically by watching that, I says, he's saying that he was going to give them amnesty, but then he screwed them.
Of course he did. He had the House, he had the Senate, and he was president. They could have been. He wants a constitutional crisis. And that's what this amnesty is all about. To create another constitutional crisis and unrest and divide the people. You divide and you conquer. What Mr. Obama did, first of all, he said, we're not going to say anything about amnesty till after the 2014 election, because he really at that moment wanted to throw all his party under the bus, but of course he did.
And he backed up over them too.
Yeah, and he
Didn't he hear the beep?
the tire tracks are there. But let's get right to the nitty gritty. Mr. Obama's saying, I'm going to do it, regardless of what Congress wants. They didn't do it. This is my job. No. Harry Truman tried the same game as Mr. Obama. Harry Truman tried to nationalize, which is making law, the steel mills in our nation. The Supreme Court of the United States told him, Harry, I know you said the buck stops at your desk, but the buck stops here. at the Constitution. You cannot write law. Now, amnesty here, there's no law that he could amend or try to fix. And the Constitution there's no authority whatsoever for this bill. Now, I'm glad that you're doing this interview with me because over the weekend, Michelle Bachmann came out with a fact.
Right.
Whereas the Republican Party intends to do nothing. Wait a minute, what am I saying here? You win the House, you win the Senate, and you intend to do nothing?
Well, they won it because people were tired of the Democrats doing what they did.
They wanted
not doing anything.
They wanted, and in spite of what Mitch McConnell's telling you, they won because of the Tea Party. I myself and many, many bloggers said, you vote, hold your nose, and you vote for Republicans. Because we cannot have a Democrat Senate to pass laws that are illegal and violate the Constitution. One being, of course, the Small Arms Treaty and others. But the key here is amnesty. And it's really interesting that Bonner had a congressional hearing with, the insiders in Congress. And there he says, we're going to concentrate on the education. We're going to concentrate on jobs. We're going to concentrate on manufacturing. What was it? The economy. First of all, this amnesty destroys education. Our schools are overcrowded, and we end up paying for second language teachers or whatever. So it's not doing anything for our schools are overcrowded.
It's going to make things worse, even with Common Core, because you're trying to cheat.
That's part one. I'm not going to go into
something
Common Core.
else.
That's correct. Then you got number two, the economy. It's going to cost trillions of dollars to take care of these illegal aliens and their families, and he's going to let them take entitlements, and they're criminals.
Right. At first,
I don't understand how a criminal could be rewarded while the lines are waiting in every country to come in here legally. You don't reward criminals. So we have a case here that he's writing law that could be fast-tracked to the Supreme Court of the United States because this affects the United States, and he is violating the Constitution. I would say he's going to war with the Constitution of the United States, which is his sedition.
Well, let me go back
which
to
is sedition.
Something you just said right now. You said fast track to the Supreme Court.
Mm-hmm.
How come this gets fast tracked and it doesn't have
Because
to go
it
through
has
all the other courts?
Oh, very simple. You would submit your brief and
Right.
a TRO to a district court, temporary restraining order to stop Mr. Obama. But this man's unstoppable because he's just a criminal. So what you would do from there is you put a motion into the Supreme Court because this has ramifications. This is national ramifications. And this is a total usurping the entire United States Constitution. If you could do this...
So this supersedes all the other
Oh, it
processes
does. It absolutely
to get
it does.
to a Supreme Court trial.
It goes right to this. They could pick this up immediately as soon as they get the papers.
Okay.
This could destroy the nation. This is sedition. They could call it anything they want. It's sedition. You can't go to war with the Constitution of the United States when you swore to protect the Constitution of the United States. And so did Congress. And Congress is saying, we're not gonna go fight Obama with this garbage. No, you're gonna allow it. And I believe in my heart, being an ex-insider, that they're being blackmailed. I mean, I can't prove it.
Who's being blackmailed?
But John Boehner, if you don't think he's being blackmailed, there's something wrong with you.
Okay.
Or he's drinking just a little too much wine and laying under that suntan machine that he has in his apartment just a little too long. Mitch McConnell. These people turn around and say they're conservative, they're this, they're that, and I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to shut down the government. That's another thing. But there are three things here: the fast track, and you've got precedents with Harry Truman. That's number one. Then you have the purse strings, and you hear, oh no, you can't tell the president what to spend. There's discretionary. Excuse me. You have a continuous resolution going on right now with dollars and cents. It's quite simple. You put stipulation that you cannot spend one single dime on immigration. You cannot use any monies outside of border protection with any discretionary money, because there is a fund that they claim that they could use the money for that. You can't turn around while our economy is in the dumps and give green cards to 5 million people? Excuse me, go look at our cities. The black community was thrown under the bus because the Democrats say they're not a factor anymore, which they were with 14% of the population in their vote. But the Hispanics are 30% of our nation now, they're voting. So what are they doing?
They're a larger group now.
30% versus 14%.
Right.
They'll throw them under the bus and take the Hispanics. They're believing that the Hispanic people want illegals to take their jobs.
No.
If you go there, think about this. Blacks have 2 times the unemployment rate. Then you have the Hispanics, 1.5 times the unemployment rate, and then you have the white race with half the with the unemployment. And then you don't have all those people that had jobs that are not even listed.
Right.
You're not doing anything for the economy, Mr. McConnell and Mr. Boehner. You're destroying it if you allow this to continue without you fighting and putting those stipulations. But there's one more thing, sir, and I speak to you with all due respect. Gruber thinks the American people are stupid. Do you think we're stupid?
Actually, it wasn't the American. He was addressing it to the American voters.
Yeah.
But really, you have to look at it and say it was the Democratic legislature that was stupid because they went along with the health care.
Well, I'll do that. We're going to do a video, you said, within a day or
that.
two on that Obamacare
It never
and
went to
Gruber.
the American people for a vote. It went.
Allow me to just tell you,
Right.
that's another video we're supposed to do in a day or two.
Okay.
But I really want to do that because
So forget that.
Obamacare's
statement,
dead.
people.
Just let's go for the facts here. Now, another thing. The people gave you a mandate, Mr. Boehner, Mr. McConnell, but you're selling us out. It's very, very simple here. You bring up the House and the Senate can take a vote and overturn Mr. Obama's amnesty, any executive order. And I don't want, as I said Thursday prior to his declaring amnesty, don't give me you don't have enough votes. You put it up publicly, and you'll see who votes against overturning this executive order.
Am I right to say they don't want to do that because they don't want people to see which people
Of course they don't,
didn't vote because they don't want them to be primaried and maybe thrown out of office in the election?
Well, then you're breaking up their private club.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I'm sorry.
No, that's exactly why
Did we
they won't
slip
do
up
that
some-
vote. Because let me tell you something. You'll have conservatives in the Democrat Party, constitutionalists in the Democrat Party, not conservative. You know, I don't like this word liberal, moderate, conservative. Constitutionalists. Because that protects all our people equally. They will throw these bombs out. Because how dare anybody destroy the cities by bringing in illegals, destroy the school system by bringing in illegals, destroy the job market by bringing in illegals. A public vote. Let's see who cares and who truly follows the Constitution. You have 3 issues here. The sad thing is, and again, I don't mean to be redundant.
Well, we have another issue. So there's really 4 issues. That's legal versus illegal.
Robert, they are rewarding criminal activity, and the people that are waiting online should be in an uproar. My grandparents, I'm sure your grandparents,
Yes.
and most of this country came through Ellis Island. Now, there was a purpose for that. Who's coming in, number one? Keeping a balance in the nation, number 2. Checking for disease, number 3. We have illegals coming in from all over South America bringing disease. 10 states in the Midwest are suffering with lung problems, and they don't know what it really is.
And it all stemmed in, what a coincidence, it showed up when the last influx of all these
That's
children
correct.
came in.
Oh, he knows
60,000
what
or
he's
so.
doing. But I forgot what governor was, Minnesota, one of them. He was smart. They delivered them to his city, and I'm so sorry I don't remember which one it was. He put them on a chartered plane with the social service, went right back to Honduras and said, they have no papers and no adults, keep your kids. And got back on the plane and came home. Obama is destroying our country, and it is intentional. I could go into it through his Islamic. That's why he's abrogating the law. Don't they do that all the time? One law for another law. No, we have a process here. We have a legal action here that should be implemented immediately. Come back December 1st. You are selling us that. Don't tell us you're going to concentrate on jobs, economy, and education. We've been eating this garbage from both parties year in and year out, election after election. No, concentrate on what's important. And another thing, this continuing resolution. Okay, you want to stop Obamacare? You stop Obama and everything but Obamacare. And you remind the public, when we shut down the government, and we didn't shut down the government, when we shut down the spending, Obama shut down the government. Obama can't shut down this government. He could say he's shutting down this government. He could blame you. The blame went from where it came from. Why is it that 90%, and I said this last Thursday before, 90% of the EPA was laid off. And when they were laid off...
They weren't laid off.
Oh, they
were told. This is how I look at it, because I have.
They got to pay vacation.
Exactly.
They were told they had to shut down the government. They were relieved from their job.
I have some friends that work in the IRS, and when we were in the gym working out, because they know I'm very active in the Tea Party movement, and that's why I started First Amendment TV. They go, "Thanks a lot. I'm out of work." I says, "You're not out of work." And they go, "What are you talking about? I'm not out of work. I'm not getting a check." I says, "You're getting a vacation. Once you go back to work, you're going to get that as back pay."
Yes, it's a joke. And
you don't have enough money to
that
survive
shows
for a
you how
couple of
bloated.
weeks.
That shows you how bloated the government is.
Everybody that was shut down, supposedly shut down, got paid.
Now, why did he shut the parks? Because he wanted to make a statement, but he opened the parks to illegals. Hey, enough.
And there were quite a few senators and congressmen that went there and took those fences down and took them away.
Yeah, and there was quite a few
And they were
senators and
privately
congressmen
funded, those-
went with the illegals.
And the memorials were privately funded.
Yeah, I think
And
that
it shut them down.
You see, by the way, you know what I carry? I carry a whiteboard. This guy Rowe, called the architect
Of what?
See, of what? Of destroying our nation. See, it's blank on both sides. You see, but we give you facts. Why doesn't somebody try to challenge us on those 3 points? Why doesn't somebody try to challenge us on what we're saying? Because you cannot. You cannot. You refuse to obey the Constitution. And each of you in Congress, whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, and shamefully a majority of you are the same, you're just Dem reps, or whatever you want to call you. I don't even know, besides Queaslings and traitors. Oh boy. I just get so excited. When are you going to adhere to your oath of office? Please.
Well,
you took an oath, and that's a high crime and misdemeanor. You don't belong in there when you destroy your own nation. Now, I know you're in power, and it feels very good, and you think you're going to be in power forever. But excuse me, are your children going to be in that same power? Are your grandchildren going to be in? No. Before you sell, think you're selling out your nation. You've been selling it out. It's time to turn.
Well, evil has no care.
You know, in Dostoevsky's book, was it Ivan, with the brothers Komanov? I can't even pronounce it correctly, the Russian name. Ivan said, without God, everything's permissible. You have no God. Your God is your power. As Lord Acton says, power corrupts, absolute power corrupts absolutely. Stop it. For the sake of your family, your God, your family, and your country. Stop this man. And by the way, you can get him on charges. You can get him on treason. You can get him. He is not the president of the United States till he could prove he's a citizen. Plus, he could prove that he doesn't have a Ford Social Security number. If he could prove that he has a birth certificate. If he could prove that he didn't get a Fulbright scholarship. What are you doing? You're going to say you're going to burn down, they're going to burn down the cities? I was told that in Washington in 2009, not 2008. Oh, if we brought this up about his citizenship, the blacks will burn down the cities.
They're going to burn down their own cities.
They're going to burn down their own cities, exactly.
They're going to burn down their own homes.
They're not stupid people, the black people.
It's like we're talking
they need the truth.
It's like
You've
we're
used
talking-
them and you've thrown them under the bus. This illegal amnesty is throwing the black community under the bus. It's got to cease now. I've said everything I want to say. God bless you, and may you all do what's right and proper, just and proper. I don't know what to say. The law's on your side. You've got the votes. Do it. And you have the American people that are tired of being sold out. And McConnell, again, the Tea Party put the Republicans in charge. The Tea Party, the Constitutionalists, Tea Party, taxed enough already. $3 trillion it's going to cost for these illegal aliens. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And for you people out there that agree with this video, share this YouTube link with others so this message can get out. Because a lot of your regular media, even Fox News, is not even saying this. So it needs to be gotten out and explained better with no commercial interruption. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Nick.
Thank you.